The other day, one of my videos was taken down because it was flagged as sexually explicit. Of course, the video was not sexually explicit at all. It was just a try-on video where I had pretty big boxer brief boy short things on and a bra that, you know, I wasn't spilling out of or anything at all. But my stomach was very, very visible, and you could see it from several different angles. I appealed the age restriction that was placed on the video. It hasn't been unage restricted. I don't really know what's gonna happen with that. This got me thinking about a lot of the politicalness of fat bodies and how we are received by society and kind of by the media too. As many of you know, there is an actual reason why I stay in my underwear when I do try on videos, and why I show how things fit as I'm getting them on and how difficult they are to pull on and off. Plus size clothing is not easy to shop for. It is not necessarily a fun thing to do, and I am just here to show people how things that I purchase fit on my body so that other people can kind of connect and, you know, get a sense of how things will look on their body. Another reason I am in my underwear on YouTube sometimes is because I believe that fat bodies need significantly more representation. I think that in the media we do not often see fat bodies, and especially we do not see people with fat bodies who are happy with themselves. When you start to think about how the media portrays skinny people versus fat people, it becomes very clear that we have this extreme bias over these bodies. You know, we have things like the Victoria's Secret fashion show, which is shown on primetime television, and these women are in next to nothing, and nobody really bats an eye at it. That's just kind of part of our yearly thing, and I'm totally okay with that. They're just bodies in lingerie, it's fine. But when we see a fat person like me in a YouTube video where my belly's hanging out, it's suddenly like, oh, you've exposed so much of yourself. I'm so offended. We also see people with fat bodies in the media kind of portrayed as the butt of joke. Even people like Melissa McCarthy, who I actually really like as an actress, is very often put in a position where her body is used as the butt of a joke. And another way we see fat bodies in the media is on television shows, really shitty television shows like The Biggest Loser, where they line up a bunch of fat people in their underwear and they make them do weigh-ins in front of a bunch of other fat people while someone else is sitting there going, oh, I can't believe you got that fat. And we all accept these fat people being lined up and seeing all of these bodies as long as their bodies are receiving criticism. And even more than criticism, let's be real, what their bodies are receiving is shame. They're being told that they should be ashamed of their fat bodies. And that is how mainstream media makes fat people digestible. They make them funny or they make them ashamed. And then they say, see, now it's okay for them to be on TV because their bodies aren't offensive anymore. But why the fuck should my body be more offensive than anybody else's? Ever. And what in the hell makes my body inherently more sexual than everybody else's? Is it just because there's more body? Is it just because I have literally more flesh? I mean, I know I'm hot, but just because my belly's hanging out doesn't mean everybody needs to lose their shit. I think the fact that I am confident in myself and that I do love my body and I don't try to hide my body is part of the reason people find my fat body so repulsive. People are incredibly uncomfortable with fat people who find themselves attractive. And even more than that, if fat people love themselves, whew, that's a total no-no. But here's the deal. I love myself. I love my body, and I'm not gonna quit doing what I do. So videos can get flagged, people can bitch about my body constantly, as much as they like, but I'm still gonna make a lot of noise about getting my fat body out there and being representative of people with fat bodies all over the place. And the thing about me talking about this is that me as a white woman who is around a size 24, 26, so not even like, you know, super fat, who has a fairly small waist in comparison to my hips, I actually receive a ton more representation than so many other people, than people of color, than disabled people, than fat trans people, and I just can't even imagine how much criticism they must get for showing their bodies. So this is my call to all of you to just think about how the media portrays fat people and thin people and how that might change your perception of who fat people are and how you can fight that. I think all of you know that I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, and nothing's going to stop me from being on YouTube with my tummy hanging out or showing off my big fat thighs or just taking a stand for fat positivity. But in case you ever doubted that, let me reassure you. Just let people live.